Last time, we thought Bigfoot was impossible to catch. But what if I told you someone actually did? Tonight, in episode 2 of the Bigfoot Files, we're diving into a story darker, stranger, and more shocking than anything you saw before. It begins with a wildlife photographer deep in the forest, hunting for the perfect sunrise shot. But instead, his camera caught something else. A massive shadow moving between the trees, a figure towering over the bushes like a living mountain. Before he could even run, 2 local men appeared, terrified, whispering that they'd seen the same creature for weeks. And here's where everything gets insane. They claim they didn't just film Bigfoot, they captured him, tied him, locked him inside an old abandoned forest outpost, a hidden prison built decades ago for illegal hunters. And tonight, you're about to see the footage they never wanted the world to watch. But ask yourself this: if they really trapped a Bigfoot, what escaped from that prison later that night? Deep in the forests of Mexico, a place locals call the Road of Shadows, a police patrol was moving slowly through the trees. They weren't hunting creatures. They were searching for a criminal who had escaped into the woods. The night was quiet, too quiet, only the sound of the engine and the crackling radio. But then, something stepped onto the road. At first, the officers thought it was a bear, or maybe a person. But when the dashcam light hit it, everything changed. A massive brown figure nearly 8 feet tall walked out from the darkness. Long arms, thick fur, a heavy breath visible in the cold night air. It didn't run, it didn't hide, it simply crossed the road, calmly, like it owned the entire forest. The officers froze. They didn't even open their doors, because on both sides of the road, the forest was pitch black, a tunnel of trees where anything could be watching. The dashcam kept recording, every second, every step, until the creature vanished between the trees. And here's the part that shocked everyone. When backup arrived, the senior officer said he had patrolled this road for 16 years. And he had seen that same figure once before. Same color, same walk, same terrifying silence. Scientists who reviewed the footage said, this isn't AI, this isn't edited. Whatever crossed that road was real. But the police never chased it. Not after seeing the size, not after hearing the deep growls coming from the woods. And the criminal they were searching for, he was never found. Now the real question is, if Bigfoot is crossing roads in Mexico, what else is moving through these forests when no camera is recording? Stay tuned. The next sighting might be even scarier. Deep inside the African forest, a lone hunter decided to spend the night under the stars. He'd done this 100 times. The silence, the insects, the trees, all normal. But on this night, something felt wrong. Around 2 a.m., a scream shattered the quiet. Not a human scream, not an animal scream, something in between. The hunter jolted awake, grabbed his torch and his phone, and whispered to himself, "Something's out here." He followed the sound for almost 10 minutes, moving deeper into the forest. Every step felt heavier. Every sound echoed longer. The night air was thick, like the forest itself was holding its breath. And then it happened. To his left, behind a thick tree, a shape began to move, slowly, deliberately. A massive figure stepped into the faint beam of his torch. A jet-black Bigfoot, towering, muscular, silent. Its eyes reflected the light, like 2 burning coals. For a split second, both of them just stared. The hunter's hand shook so hard the camera almost fell. He didn't wait to see what it wanted. He turned and ran for his life. Branches snapped behind him. Leaves shook. The forest came alive with movement. But then, the footsteps stopped. The creature didn't chase. It didn't attack. It simply watched from the darkness. When the hunter made it back to his camp, his whole body was shaking, but he was alive, and his camera captured enough to terrify the entire internet. But here's the real mystery. If this Bigfoot screamed for help, what was it trying to warn him about? Because the next sighting, the next creature, didn't just appear for a moment. It followed a group of tourists for miles. And trust me, you're going to want to see that one. Deep inside the Mexico forest, a group of visitors was exploring a quiet trail, just recording nature, laughing, and enjoying the trip. Nothing strange, nothing dangerous. But that changed in seconds. One of them stopped and pointed at something standing between the trees. At first, everyone thought it was a gorilla. But Mexico has no wild gorillas. And when the creature stepped forward, the truth hit them all at once. This wasn't a gorilla, this was Bigfoot. A massive, pitch-black figure, easily taller than any human. Its chest expanded with slow, heavy breaths. Its arms hung low, brushing the bushes with every movement, and its eyes, dark, silent, watching. One of the visitors whispered, "Record this, now!" But the moment the camera came up, the creature reacted. In a split second, Bigfoot charged toward them, crashing through branches, shaking the entire forest floor. The visitors screamed and ran, stumbling over roots and rocks, barely holding on to their phones. They only captured 10 seconds of footage, 10 chaotic, terrifying seconds, before everything went silent. But here's the part no one expected. Bigfoot didn't hurt anyone, not a scratch. Not a single attack. It was almost like the creature wasn't trying to kill them, but trying to warn them, to push them away from that place. And later, when experts studied the scene, they noticed something strange. Small footprints, tiny ones, right behind the trees where the creature first appeared, which raises a darker question. Was Bigfoot protecting its child that day? Because in the next clip, locals set up cameras in the same area, and what they captured in the middle of the night proved the creature wasn't alone. Stay tuned. You do not want to miss what those cameras recorded. Deep inside 2 different forests, hundreds of miles apart, something was captured that no one believed at first. Not a blurry shadow, not a creature running away, but something far more shocking, a Bigfoot walking with its children. And tonight, you're going to see why these footages changed everything. 3 a.m. The first clip came from a forest so isolated that people rarely enter it even during the day, a place without phone signals, without towns, without a single house for miles. Only the night, only the cold. Only the sound of trees breathing. At 3 a.m., a motion sensor wildlife camera activated. The red light blinked once, and then something stepped into the frame. A giant, covered in dark black fur from head to toe. A creature that walked like a human, but moved like something far older. A Bigfoot. But this time, it wasn't alone. Right beside its huge leg, you can see something small, delicate, trying to match its pace. A baby Bigfoot. Its steps were uncertain at first, stumbling, adjusting, learning. But the parent slowed down, making sure the young one stayed close. They weren't hiding, they weren't aggressive, they were simply walking. A calm, peaceful walk, like a parent teaching its child how to move through the forest at night. Then, something strange happened. The parent suddenly stopped. It turned its head sharply and stared directly at the camera. It saw the tiny red light. For a moment, both creatures froze, not in fear, but recognition, awareness. And then, without any reaction, the parent gently nudged the baby forward, and both disappeared into the darkness as if the night had swallowed them whole. The second footage, 4:17 a.m. Hours later, in a completely different forest, over 200 kilometers away, another camera captured another family of the same mysterious creature. This time, it wasn't pitch black. The sky had a faint light, the early morning glow before sunrise. At exactly 4:17 a.m., the footage begins. A giant Bigfoot walks across a clearing, but this one is slightly lighter in color, a deep brown mixed with black. Behind it are 2 small figures, walking in almost perfect formation, 2 Bigfoot children. They follow the parent with surprising discipline. No rushing, no wandering, just walking, like they know exactly where they're going. And then, the moment that shocked everyone, the parent looks at the camera, not confused, not scared, just watching. Its eyes reflect the faint red glow of the recording light. It pauses, pushes the 2 children forward, and continues walking, disappearing behind 3 massive trees. What's unbelievable is how similar this family's behavior is to the first footage. Check mark A, slow, careful walk. Check children staying close. Check parent, noticing the camera check, no attempt to destroy or attack it. The behavior is almost identical, but the location is completely different. This raises a terrifying question. How many Bigfoot families are out there? A pattern no one can ignore. Experts who analyzed the clips noticed a pattern. Bigfoot families move calmly when they feel safe. They do not attack unless threatened. They travel with young ones only for important reasons. So why were 2 separate families traveling before sunrise? Why were they moving so far away from each other, yet with the same behavior? Animals don't relocate their children unless something is happening. Were they migrating, searching for food, escaping danger, or going to a hidden place humans have never discovered? Because both clips show the adults guiding the children with urgency, but without panic. Something was calling them deeper into the forest, something important. The questions no one can answer. The forest gives hints, but never the full story. And here, the clues are strange. 2 families, 2 forests, 2 time stamps, 2 sets of young ones. Same direction of travel, same calm reaction to cameras. It almost feels like Bigfoot creatures are moving between hidden locations, places that might be connected underground or deep within the forest, places humans have never entered. If these creatures are moving as families, that means there's something they are protecting, something they value more than anything. And that leads us to the final, biggest question. Because in the next footage, explorers followed a set of Bigfoot footprints left behind by one of these families. And those tracks did not end at a random tree or a fallen log. They ended at a place that looked like an entrance, a tunnel, a structure, something carved into the earth itself. So now, before you watch the next part, ask yourself, if Bigfoot families are traveling at 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. with their babies beside them, what or who are they going to meet? Stay tuned. The next clip might reveal the place Bigfoot calls home.